Good day, everyone. Today I'll be presenting our study titled Exploring Entrepreneurial Intention Among Undergraduate Students and the Moderating Role of Entrepreneurial Education. This work was conducted with my colleagues at Utah Sungai Long campus. Entrepreneur is a critical driver of innovation, job creation, and economic growth. Yet, in Malaysia, only about 2% of graduates pursue entrepreneurship annually. This is a surprisingly low figure given the government's strong support for entrepreneurship. Understanding why students choose or don't choose to become entrepreneur is therefore essential. The government have introduced initiatives such as the MOHE Entrepreneurship Action Plan and support from MDEC. COVID-19 further highlighted the urgency as youth unemployment rose sharply. Despite these efforts, entrepreneurial uptakes remained modest. This gap motivated us to investigate what really drives students' entrepreneurial intention. Our study has had two main objectives. First, to examine the determinants of entrepreneurial intention, specifically entrepreneurial attitudes, perceived behavioral control, subjective norm, and entrepreneurial education. Secondly, to assess whether entrepreneurial education moderates these relationships. We grounded our work in the theory of planned behavior and human capital theory. We asked two guiding questions. First, do entrepreneurial attitude, perceived behavioral control, subjective norms, and education directly impact entrepreneurial intention? Secondly, does entrepreneurial education moderate these relationships? Based on prior literature, we propose five hypotheses. Hypothesis 1 through hypothesis 4 tested the direct effects of attitude, perceived control, norms, and educations on intention. Hypothesis 5A through hypothesis 5C tested whether education moderates these relationships. To answer this question, we conducted a cross-sectional survey of 220 undergraduate students from both public and private universities. We used stratified random sampling to ensure gender and institutional representation. Data were analyzed using partially least square structural equation modeling, and all constructs achieve strong reliability with Cronbach alpha value above 0.7. Our result shows that entrepreneurial attitudes, perceived behavioral control, subjective norms, and entrepreneurial education all significantly influence entrepreneurial intention. This confirms that these four factors are critical driver of whether students intend to start a business. Interestingly, entrepreneurial education only moderates one relationship between perceived behavioral control and entrepreneurial intention. In other words, education strengthens the link between students' confidence in their ability to act and their intention to become entrepreneurs. However, education did not significantly moderate the effects of attitudes or social norms. These findings suggest that entrepreneurial education primarily enhances self-efficacy and competence. It helps students feel more capable of starting a business, but it doesn't necessarily change their attitudes or the influence of social expectation. This aligns with the theory of planned behavior, which emphasizes perceived control as the key predictor of intention. What does this mean in practice? University should design curricula that build entrepreneurial self-efficacy. This can be achieved through experiential learning, simulations, incubators, and project-based assignment. Additionally, fostering peers and mentor networks can provide the social support students need to feel confident in pursuing entrepreneurship. To conclude, entrepreneurial attitudes, perceived behavior control, subjective norms, and educations all directly influence intention. Education moderates only the perceived control intention link. Future research should use longitudinal design to capture changes over time and explore other moderators such as prior entrepreneurial experience or resilience. That's all for the presentation. Thank you for your attention.